welcome everyone. My name is Darcy Johnson. I'm currently the Vice President of the Pioneer Valley Habitat for Humanity Board of Directors, and I welcome you today. This is a glorious, glorious big day. We're here to celebrate with 3 families the completion of their future homes. We call this the Broughton Meadow Homes Project in reference to the historical name for this part of Florence. These are the 52nd, 53rd, and 54th homes completed by Pioneer Valley Habitat in Franklin and Hampshire counties. 54 local families. Yeah, that's worth clapping about. 54 local families, through their habitat experience, now know the strength, stability, and self-reliance that comes with affordable home ownership. As you know, Habitat homes are built with a tremendous outpouring of the community. Many people have contributed to the building of these homes, and we're looking forward to hearing from some of them today during the program. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate this occasion with Catherine and Zach, Emily and Patrick, and C and Joe. And for the many ways you champion affordable homeownership for local families. Our organization has decided that it's important when we come together to celebrate the beginning or end of a home building project, to acknowledge the peoples who were here before us and the indigenous peoples still living in this area. As we celebrate the future home of these families on this property in current day Florence, we would like to acknowledge that it stands on unceded land of the Nipmuc, Freshwater people, and Pocumtuck, Clear Stream people who settled and worked this land before colonists arrived. The indigenous people were mostly killed by disease, war, or were driven off their land by the colonists. Many had to assimilate into other tribes, but their ancestors are still among us. Pioneer Valley Habitat for Humanity has made a commitment to educate ourselves so that we do no further harm and support the healing of our indigenous community. And I'll now turn the program over to Executive Director Megan McDonough.
I'm really so excited to have you all here today. These homes represent a huge undertaking by hundreds of volunteers and supporters who have given of their time and treasure because they know that there's an affordable housing crisis, not only here in Western Massachusetts, but across the country in the United States and beyond. Habitat for Humanity's vision is for everyone to have a decent place to live. And rather than waiting for someone else to pick up the hammer, both literally and figuratively, to get started on making this vision a reality, we here today have done that. So thank you for coming out in the years ahead of time and today. And I'm delighted to have the opportunity to introduce and hear from some of those visionaries who have taken up hammers for their neighbors. Before we even put shovels into earth, there are many who work to set the foundation for any habitat home building project. We would like to thank the City of Northampton and our local politicians who work at the state level for all they have done for the Broughton's Meadow Homes project. The City of Northampton donated the land, and the previous and current mayors are staunch advocates of affordable housing and home ownership in our community. The Northampton Community Preservation Committee committed substantial CPA funding from this project, and the City of Office for Planning and Sustainability was here with us from the start. Wayne Feiden's inspired Just Big Enough design competition, for which a dozen architects submitted proposals for the design of these homes, and all the staff since Wayne's retirement that have continued their great support. I'd like to introduce now Court Klein from the Office of Planning and Sustainability, and he's here to welcome us on behalf of the city. Thank you.
Hi, folks. So I'm Court Klein. I'm from the Office of Planning and Sustainability, and I'm also here representing Mayor Shara, who sends her regrets that she couldn't be here today. She's really sad that she's not going to get a chance to share with you. She sent a statement, so I'm going to read the statement from her. The city is incredibly grateful and understands how important it is to be able to partner with a housing provider like Pioneer Valley Habitat for Humanity to build single-family homes to ensure we maintain an economically diverse and rich community where everyone can find opportunity. We're here today to celebrate another example of our continuing partnership that enables people who otherwise might not be able to live in Northampton or remain in Northampton to continue to call this place their home. The Broughton Meadows project is one in which the city began its involvement with the original private landowner, and this landowner was instrumental in getting this project off the ground with the intention of creating new housing while protecting the rich ecological resources just to the area north of this that not only benefit the folks that live in these houses but the entire community. This project continues the city's partnership with Habitat on open space and residential cluster developments like Broughton's Meadow, serving a dual purpose of housing creation and permanent open space preservation for the city. Additionally, it offers alternate connectivity to neighborhoods lacking bicycle and pedestrian facilities, as seen in the Habitat units on Glendale Road and West Hampton Road. Broughton Meadows was a unique project in that the city partnered with Habitat to guide a design competition to showcase how to build well-designed and smaller homes on smaller lots that can lead to both market rate and subsidized affordable housing. To generate this interest, the Planning and Sustainability Office facilitated a Just Big Enough design competition. This was beneficial not only to Habitat to gain new ideas about creating very efficient, well-designed homes, but also for the broader community. So we're very excited about seeing these 3 Habitat homes completed and to see folks move in, to see families live here. This, along with the build-out that is underway just east of here on Birds Pit Road, represent the city's valued and long-standing partnership with Habitat for bringing housing for families in Northampton. Thank you, Habitat, for working with us and being flexible about all the different project sites that we find and we continue to find. And we look forward to the future projects that are on your build list in Northampton, including Woodland Drive and 196 Cook Avenue, the former Moose Lodge. So Mayor Shara is very sad that she couldn't be here. Senator Jo Comerford was here briefly, and she also wanted to send her best wishes, so I'm doing that on her. But thank you very much. Thanks for being here, and congratulations.
I'd like to now invite Lindsay Sapadosa, Massachusetts State Representative, who spent some time on the construction site, to share a few thoughts. Please come on up.
I cannot tell you how much joy I feel being here today. This is incredible to see come to fruition. And it is true, I had the phenomenal opportunity to volunteer here. I know a lot of you volunteer here, so I'm preaching to the choir, but if you haven't, come volunteer with Habitat. Things that I learned. I had no idea how to swing a hammer properly. I learned how to do that. It is not as easy as you might have thought. I also learned how to use a circular saw, for which I will be forever grateful. And yes, I do now own some power tools as well. But apart from what Habitat taught me about construction, and I just have to shout it out, I helped raise that wall over there, which if you have never raised a wall is one of the most fun things you will ever do. You can understand why people used to raise barns together, because it is this community moment of having to be in sync and work together to do something. And wow, it is this primal, wonderful feeling of actually making something happen, right? So can't say enough about that. But what I also love about Habitat, because if you can't tell, I love Habitat, is that they teach us other things. Now, the way this whole lot looks, this is the future of what housing should look like in Massachusetts. Sometimes we always talk about the affordable housing crisis, and we don't have enough homes, and we certainly don't have enough affordable homes, and how do we fix it? Well, we've been building homes for a long time. We've been building super large houses for a very small number of people, right? And we need to change that dynamic. Something like this is a neighborhood that was just created. And I've spoken to some of the families that are moving in about the collaboration of how are we going to maintain this property and how are we all going to live here together. And that's what we need more of in our world. How do we work together? So I am grateful that Habitat is leading the way on let's build the right size homes. Let's make communities real communities where neighbors talk to each other and work together. And I don't know what else I should be saying, but I am just so absolutely thrilled to be here. And thank you for inviting me. And I have promised, my daughter just turned 17, we will be back to build together because we're going to make sure that this gets passed on from generation to generation. And I look forward to so many more projects in Northampton and beyond. Thank you.
Well, I love the advocates of our community, so thank you so much for being here. So many things come together to make these houses possible, and one of them is we need money to build the houses. So outright cash support for this project, as is the case with every Habitat construction, keeps the work flowing. We are very grateful to local donors Jack Horner and Ron Skin, the Federal Home Loan Bank of Boston, and Florence Bank for their support. Jim Hickey, Senior Vice President and Director of Marketing of Florence Bank, was going to be here today but is unable to due to a family emergency. So I'd like to ask Amy Landry, our Director of Resource Development, to come up and say a few words from Jim.
Hi, everybody. Exciting to be here. In Jim's words, for nearly 2 decades, Florence Bank has been proud to partner with Pioneer Valley Habitat for Humanity and its mission to promote affordable home ownership. During that span, the bank has provided over $100,000 of financial support, and dozens of the bank's employees have lent a helping hand at projects just like this one, or served on the board or committees throughout the organization. We're especially proud of the Federal Home Loan Bank grant we helped secure for this project. On behalf of everyone at Florence Bank, Jim himself, Matt Garrity, the president, and everyone else there, I'd like to thank Pioneer Valley Habitat for Humanity for their tireless efforts to turn houses into homes, the Family Selection Committee, the site supervisors, and all of the fantastic team of volunteers who helped make today possible. Congratulations to all of our new homeowners, and best of luck as you begin your exciting journey.
We are very grateful to Florence Bank and the other foundational contributions and community partners who made this project possible. Once we secure the funding and the planning is done and the foundations are poured, it's time to get to work. And community volunteers under the leadership of the build team and students at Smith Vocational Agricultural High School and their teachers spent hundreds of hours in the past year and a half turning this empty wooded lot into the sturdy, sustainable homes that you see here today. We'd like to first hear from Build Team member Rob Steinberg, and then followed by Chad Meerbergen from Smith Vocational. So Rob, come on up.
It's my privilege to represent the Build Team and by extension the volunteers. People have alluded to how much work goes into these houses. Not counting all the preliminary planning, which took a year, we've been actually building for 18 months. So it's quite a satisfying feeling to see everything almost done. During that time, we had 220 volunteers, all of whom happily accepted Habitat's standard wage and benefits package. For a total of about 10,700 hours as of yesterday. Now, that's just the Habitat volunteers. we have something called team builds, which are either corporate team builds, the real estate offices, the banks, Wright Builders I think did one, and there are also some nonprofits, the local churches who contribute team builds, and some of the schools. We've had team builds, if you will, from all three of the most local colleges, Smith, Amherst, and UMass. UMass actually, and so does Smith now, has a Habitat Club that contribute quite a bit. We've also had about once a month women's builds weekend days, where I know our most prolific volunteer got her start on one of the women's builds about 5 years ago. And I specifically have to give a shout out to Smith Voc. The next speaker will tell you a lot more. He leads the carpentry team. But in addition to that, we've had incredible support from the Smith Voc plumbers and the electricians. Without all of that, it just wouldn't have been possible. We're all motivated by the things that you've heard about already. I have a little more to say about that later. But right now, we'll hear from Chad very soon.
Thank you, Rob.
On my wall at school, there's a Gazette article dated 2006 with some electricians on it, and they're volunteering, they're doing some work for Habitat for Humanity. The school's relationship with Habitat goes back a very, very long way. And we've carried that forward. It ebbs and flows depending on project size and availability. But Smith Vocational really appreciates having this kind of an opportunity, right? So if you can think about this in the terms of materials, right? Each one of these houses has a ton of materials associated with it. To put those kinds of materials in front of students to work on would be very difficult without Habitat for Humanity. So I'm here to represent the plumbers, the electricians, and the forestry department in saying that it goes both ways. This is a great experience for the students, but it's also an opportunity for our school to really show how much we care about the community. So we appreciate that 100%. The next thing is, if you want to think about this in terms of economics, all the taxpayer money that goes to educating students is returned to the community when these students come here to work. So there's a lot of incredible connections that are getting made when public schools get to represent their community, and we're really happy to be able to do that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chad. We are really excited that the students have put in all this effort into these homes, and also that, like Lindsay said earlier, these are the homes of the future. These are some very energy efficient, sustainable homes, and a lot has gone into that to make them this way. And I'd like to thank our solar installer partner, PV Squared. I'd also like to thank the local grassroots group, the local energy advocates of Western Massachusetts, for their contributions to help cover the cost of our solar assisted heat pump hot water heaters. And I'd like to thank Bill Ashley, a strong local solar energy advocate who helped make the electrification of these homes possible. Bill, would you like to come share a few thoughts?
Many, many congratulations to the happy new homeowners. I think in a sense you are receiving a very nice cake. The plate is the land that you own, the cake itself is the building which you own, and the frosting is the solar panels which you own. Okay? I'd like to give a couple of words about my motivation for what I'm doing. I have great concern about climate disruption and the effects, and this is one way of mitigating against that, as opposed to adaptation, which is not a good strategy. So that's why I'm doing this work. If you owners can keep your electricity usage down, we're talking about stuff like if you go on a trip somewhere, you cut off the water heater and you turn it back on when you're back. Another old-fashioned one is when you leave a room, turn the light off. These are things that have a great payoff. And if you keep these down, you're going to have a surplus on your house. It'll build up, it'll be a credit. And you will get a bill like this. This is Eversource, not National Grid, but the nice headline there is no payment due. You won't get that in the winter months, but you'll get it April, May, June, July, August. And that'll hopefully overcome the months that are dark and cold. There's a way, if you have this surplus, if you've been scrimping on your electricity, where you can transfer part of the credit to another utility patron. In my case, Eversource. I don't live here. Another Eversource person. It could be friends and relatives, giving them a share, and that'll help pay the electric bill. It could be a cause that you like very much. So that there's a prospect there. Your power, in other words, can be empowering for you to do things with. Okay? Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Bill. And please note in your program the many professionals and businesses who gave in-kind support to this project through the donation of materials and services. B Alpha Construction, Duke Corliss, Coles Building Supply, Emerson Way LLC, Levalor Blinds, Mobile Mini, Attorney Mary Penny Melnick, PV Squared Solar, Timothy Riley, Attorney, Renew Window Cleaning, Simple City Studio, the architect who designed these beautiful houses, Smith Vocational and Agricultural High School, Valley Home Improvement, Whirlpool, Yale Locks. Those are just some of the highlights here of the many people who contributed. These energy efficient, affordable homes would not be possible without your support. As always, it's been said, we have this deep well of gratitude for our regulars who are out building in all weather, to the people behind the scenes, the family mentors, family support and hospitality committees, and the many other volunteers that make Habitat work. Please raise your hand if you are in one of those groups mentioned, so we can give some applause. And finally, something you might not know about this particular Habitat affiliate is that for every home we sell, we make a donation to Habitat Haiti. So that we're building homes not just here in our neighborhood, but in communities where there is a housing crisis internationally. And as the tradition at Habitat Dedications, we'll now enjoy a musical interlude led by Dorothy Cresswell, longtime Habitat volunteer. The first song is Dorothy's original, and the second is a traditional tune you might recognize. Come on up.
This is so awesome. I am so moved by this. So I'm just going to hum it for a minute so you catch on to the tune, so you can look at ooh, 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 ooh. So join me. Home is where the heart is, where I lay me down to rest. Home is where the heart is, it's the place they know me best. It's the place I feel most settled, safe and sound in my own nest, where I laugh and cry and hug good night and then lay me down to rest. It's the place I learn forgiveness, for we all make mistakes. It's the place I learn acceptance, even on the harder days. It's the place where I just hang out, where I can work or play, where I laugh or cry and hug good night, and then lay me down to rest. Welcome home, you all. That is so cool. So, if I had a hammer, I expect you all to sing the very first note. Here we go. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, if I had a bell, I would ring it in the morning, I would ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, if I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, well, I've got a hammer, and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. All right. And you got a song, a bell, a hammer, and a home. Yay!
I'd like to bring up Catherine. Come on up. This is an extreme pleasure to introduce all of you. Oh my goodness. She showed up with these beautiful glasses, and I asked her about them, and she said she's spreading the love. And she does that. She spreads the love. Perfect habitat family to and her son Zach, who's not here today, who's come on the shopping trips with us, an amazing young man. So it's been such a pleasure. She is great with details. She's ahead of the game all the time, and I appreciate that. It has made my job really easy. She asks great questions. The other piece is she's got this subtle humor that I just love. Sometimes I miss it. Sometimes she'll go, that's a joke. But it's been really so much fun to work with and get to know her. And I'm so overjoyed with this beautiful greenhouse, which she loves green, so it's beautiful. So we have from the mentoring committee a few gifts for each of the homeowners, so you get to go first. This is heavy. If you need a workout, I'm gonna share what this is. There's the best home improvement book in there ever, but it weighs 50 pounds. Can you feel it? We have a person on the board, Kathy Caputo, who makes pillows, designs pillows for all of our homeowners. So there's some pillows. There's a beautiful pillow in there with some colors that you would like. Here, And I can't believe we're finally here.
Oh my God. Right.
I'm Mary Beth Mee on the Family Support Committee, and I've helped C and Joe get their sweat equity over 18 months, an hour at a time. But I do have to say, and thank you and everybody at Habitat. But personally, Joe and C and our homeowners have been stewards and ambassadors for persons with differing abilities, and you've been teaching us, and I truly appreciate that. And happy for you. And Joe and C are so heartfelt, and you've earned this, and it's just great. It's great. I can't believe it's here.
Me neither. Thank you.
So we have the same Family Support Committee plants to put in for you, and we'll get them in this week before I think the frost is coming.
Yeah.
But they are all flowering native plants. This is your heavy book.
Like everything. Okay.
There's homeowner pictures to put on your wall to make your house a home.
Oh.
So everybody has that as well.
Thank you.
And then you got to see your pillow. They like bright colors, right?
It's pretty. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Donna. This is Emily and Patrick. And Emily and Patrick are going into this beautiful one-bedroom home.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had the great pleasure of working with Emily and Patrick right from the very beginning. I've been so impressed with you guys right from the design team. The first meeting that we had with the design team, Emily and Patrick were so thoughtful and so clear about what their needs were, and worked with the design team to make sure that all of those needs were met in a way that would fit into their new home. You can see when you go inside, the bedroom wall has actually been removed, so they have an ensuite bedroom for themselves, and it's just gorgeous inside. You have the best personality of anyone I've ever met.
I don't know about that, but
Patrick makes a lot of jokes about being put in the doghouse, and so he's got a shed where Emily can send him when things get a little rough. It's really been my pleasure to watch you. You guys had some adversity, and even though you did, you're so tenacious, and you're so, please open that so everyone can see what this gift is.
Oh.
There were some issues along the way, some trouble that they had, but they were so dedicated to
everything.
getting.
You were
thank you.
You were awesome along all the way too.
They were so great to just work their way through those, keep coming back. Patrick, despite the fact that he is confined to a wheelchair, not only was he here to see the build, but found ways to contribute, to work on the project, and actually help to build his own home. So it's been really amazing to watch you guys and get to know you.
No.
And thank you, Amy, for that beautiful photo.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Thank you so much. We are so blessed. We're so grateful for all of you. Thank you.
You want to say anything?
I'm doing a group. Thank you so much. I didn't have a whole lot of light in my life, and until they came along, now I know I have a direction and I can see, and I'm just so moved and touched, and everybody involved has just been incredible, so incredible. It seems like every time I come out here, I make another friend. I can only say one thing. Yeah! I'm so happy. Thank you all so much.
Home gives you peace, joy, comfort, stability, safety, security, autonomy, a place to de-stress and unwind. It anchors us to the community, and it provides a sense of connection and belonging. Not every place that we've lived in has produced those feelings, and sometimes it's been quite the opposite, but this is a place I can truly call home. And it's a place that we can feel dignity and pride in being here. Words cannot express the gratitude that we both have. We are so grateful for all of you and everyone that has worked on this project. Even the people that we don't even know, there were hundreds of people who have been here for volunteers, and we appreciate each and every one of you, even though we don't know each and every one of you. We'd like to thank Megan for all of her hard work in this. She went above and beyond, and we're truly grateful to be given this opportunity by Pioneer Valley Habitat for Humanity. We're also very grateful to the city of Northampton because of their recognizing the need for affordable housing and working to help provide things within the community. And they do live up to what's on the seal in Northampton town, which is caring, education, and justice. We appreciate that. We appreciate our mentor, Donna Shapillo, who has been there for us so often, and she found the answer to every question we asked. We appreciate the board of directors, the multiple committees in charge of building and construction, and all of those who are working together with them to bring about this and make this possible for us. We're very grateful to the site supervisors who are always kind and always helpful and made our home affordable, functional, and beautiful. And we're very appreciative of the high quality work that went into it. We are amazed from the beginning with all of the volunteers who were here because they wanted to be. They had a very impressive work ethic. They put very high quality into the work, and their cooperation, willingness, and joy while working was very impressive to us. We were amazed to see how much they enjoyed being here. So we thank you all for your commitment, your care, and your kindness. And we thank everyone here today to celebrate with us and to share in our joy. We thank our new neighbors for being here, and we thank our friends and family for being here, and the many new friends that we've made during this construction project. We love you all, and we're very grateful that you could share this joy with us. Thank you.
It occurred to me that there's the kind of wandering that life circumstances sometimes force upon us, not of our own choosing, the rootlessness that results from that kind of wandering. And then there's the wandering we choose to do in the places we choose to go from a forever home that replaces rootlessness with rootedness. This home represents the place from which she can wander to the place of her choosing, the woods. So this is the forever home that you will return to after your quiet walks, after bird watching, wild foraging, being out to plant herbs and flowers. You said this still feels surreal, and all of us here just can't wait for this to just feel plain real. That day is coming. It's called A House for Our Dreams. We, all of us, build houses for our dreams, the masonry and lumber, glass and tiles, a solid form wherein we see our hopes, a shelter and protection for our growth. These walls shall represent the privacy, the dignity of individuals, the open doors, a welcome to all people, to all ages, all generations. The windows shall keep the light of inquiry, illuminating from outside and within. May all words spoken here be born of love, and energy rekindle in the hearts of those who dreamed this house, who plied the tools, and paid the price to actualize the dream. May dreaming never cease for those within, who know the world to be a troubled place, but dare to struggle with imperfectness toward that brighter hope, that better day. This is a precious place, as every home that shelters those who love and strive and share. Its blessing is in lives that meet within, in living, learning, caring, sheltered here. Welcome home.
I'm not a blessing kind of guy, really, but I do have some words of welcome, and I want to address also why I think I can speak on behalf of all the volunteers, why we feel like it's an honor and a privilege to help build these homes. Patrick and Emily were quite eloquent, but there's a little anecdote which will tell you something about Joe, who's a really sweet guy and a very caring guy. Early on in the building process, the Habitat crews were building these two houses, and Chad and his team were framing 789. And at that point we had a few walls up, all just 2x4s. Over there it was just a foundation. And while Joe was working, helping us frame over here. And during that day, or maybe the day before, Chad's crew had put up the first wall, the north wall on that house. And it was standing there, just a bunch of sticks with bracing, and that's all it was. At lunchtime, Joe kind of wandered over to look at the place, and for some reason I had to go get something over there, so I happened to come by. And Joe was taking pictures. He saw that I was approaching, and I don't know if he had tears in his eyes, but he certainly had tears in his voice. And he said, "That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen." So anyway, welcome home. I'm glad we were privileged to build your houses, and this is the kind of reason that we all do it.
Hello everyone, I'm Emily's daughter, and when I found out that I was going to be last on the program, I knew I'd have to keep it brief. So I am also going to read a poem, but before I do, I want to just express my deep, incredible gratitude for all the work that has gone into this, the support and care, the love that you've shown to my mom and Pat and to all the other families. It's truly impressive, and I am so grateful. Because I live far away, I wasn't able to participate, I wasn't able to do the hammering work, but this has absolutely inspired me to pick up a hammer in my own town. I'm just so in awe of all of this. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I know how truly grateful they are. So I'm going to read a poem by the Irish poet John O'Donoghue, and it's called For a New Beginning. In out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you are ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness grow inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered, would you always live like this? Then the delight when your courage kindled and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure, hold nothing back, learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. And with that, I just want to say congratulations, Mom and Pat. I'm so happy for you. And to the other families, I wish you joy and ease and abundance. Thank you.
Thank you all for spending your Saturday with us to celebrate these homes. Thank you all for coming.
Wow. Wow, that's my word of the day. Wow.
Yeah.
It is. It's just so incredible.